Well, well, well. Army Secretary Ryan McCarthy has done it. This story says Army finds major flaws at Fort Hood. 14 officials disciplined. It says several officials were fired and suspended after an investigation into the culture of Fort Hood in Texas. Women were preyed upon, but afraid to report sexual harassment, investigators state. These are supposed to be men of honor. How can men of honor do this to someone's child? This is someone's child who has decided that they want to make a career in the Army, and these high-ranking officials are preying upon them. They are supposed to be men of honor. There is no honor in rape, sexual harassment, and murder. It says more than a dozen Army officials have been fired or suspended following an investigation into complaints of sexual harassment, bullying, and violence at Fort Hood, a major military base in Texas. That's right. That is exactly right. Ryan McCarthy is the man. More than a dozen Army officials have been fired or suspended. A sprawling military base in Texas that has been rocked by a series of violent deaths, suicides, and complaints of sexual harassment. Scott Eflin knew what was going on that Army base, and he allowed it to happen. So I'm glad they got rid of him. The investigation released on Tuesday found major flaws at the Fort Hood Command climate that was permissive of sexual harassment and sexual assault, said Ryan D. McCarthy, the Secretary of the Army. I told you. I told you. I knew Scott Eflin knew something about this. Unfortunately, a business approach was taken by Fort Hood leadership, causing female soldiers, particularly in the combat brigades, to slip into survival mode. The report said where they were vulnerable and preyed upon, but fearful to report it, and being ostracized and re-victimized. Yeah, I knew it. It was the high-ranking officials that was doing it, and they trying to put it on Aaron David Robinson. No, it was high-ranking officials that raped and murdered Vanessa Guillen, and it was probably more than one of them. The Army Secretary ordered that 14 officials, including several high-ranking leaders, be relieved of command or suspended, and vowed sweeping reform that would extend far beyond Fort Hood to affect more than 1 million soldiers and Army civilians. That's right, because y'all didn't get all of them. Some of them have transferred out. This report, without a doubt, will cause the Army to change our culture, Mr. McCarthy said. The damning report comes as the military faces mounting public pressure to address years of allegations and harassment of sexual harassment among soldiers that has gone unaddressed. A Defense Department survey released last year estimated that there were 20,500 instances of unwanted sexual contact. People don't join the Army to be raped and sexually harassed. They join because they want to serve their country. And if this is the kind of behavior that they're going to have in the Army, they need to stop letting them Army recruiters go to those schools and entice those young, beautiful young ladies, 18 and 19 years old, into joining the Army, because nobody wants their child to join the Army and end up being raped, murdered, or sexually harassed. It says Fort Hood, the nation's third largest Army base in terms of population, has been at the center of the conversation amid a rash of homicides, suicides, and violent death. This year, the investigation came in response to the slaying of Vanessa Guillen. I told y'all Vanessa Guillen is a hero. What happened to her opened the door up on all of this. A 20-year-old Army specialist who disappeared on the base in Guillen, Texas, after telling friends and family that she had been sexually harassed. The authorities say she was killed by a fellow soldier who burned and dismembered her body. Aaron David Robinson did indeed burn and dismember her body, but he was not the one sexually harassing her. You need to find CSM Wheeler. That's who you need to find. And Army Secretary Ryan McCarthy, if you could reach over there in Iraq or wherever that man is hiding at, snatch his tail too. The findings of the investigation were seen as a significant step by military observers, lawmakers, advocates for Latinos, and representatives for Specialist Guillen, who welcomed the changes as an initial but unnecessary move toward justice. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Well. Go ahead on, Ryan McCarthy. These men are men of honor. Or are they? Are they? If they are preying upon young private first class men and women that join the army that want to serve their country, they have no honor. And Ryan McCarthy, I want to thank you for your investigation, for the discipline that you have put up on these animals. All right, y'all. Stay healthy and stay blessed. And Vanessa Guillen, justice is on the way, because now that they have been fired from the army, they can be prosecuted as the criminals and animals that they are. Rest in peace, Vanessa. Rest in peace, Elder Fernandez. Rest in peace, George Morales, and anybody else who was sexually harassed and murdered on that Fort Hood Army base.